again, it was a schoolboy error. Did I really know what I was doing? No, I didn't. I was young, naive, thought I knew everything, thought I was the, top dog, and I wasn't. And it soon was a rude awakening. I had to set up a payment plan and pay that over the next couple of years or so. And don't get me wrong, I've still done some schoolboy errors since then. I still do to this day, but nowhere near as bad as that. And everything I'm just learning from. I just keep on going.
Keep learning. Hello and welcome to How I Failed in Business, the latest podcast where we want to share with you the mishaps, the mistakes, the dilemmas that happen in everyday business. Now, this is the start of a brand new podcast, so we really appreciate you coming along. My name is Rob, your host, Rob Spence, the Managing Director of Paragon Sales Solutions. And I've got with me today probably the best guest we could have for the first episode. We've got Ben Knowles of Ben's Kitchen. Ben.
Thank you for having me.
No, thanks for coming along. Have you travelled far or have you?
No, not too far. About 20 minutes.
Perfect. A decent enough drive.
Yeah, that's it.
Maybe next time when you're driving, you can listen to our podcast.
Yes, funnily enough, I was on the way.
Of course you were. You were listening to Mark's edition, weren't you?
Absolutely.
Nice. Did you learn a lot?
Yeah, absolutely. No, top bloke.
Good. He is a good lad. And if you're not understanding we're making the reference to Mark Rowley's edition in our previous series, The Sales Circle. So please do go check that out. Well, Ben, thanks for joining us. Can I make you a drink on our wonderful piano bar?
Love a water.
A water.
Yeah,
I'm sure
please,
I can make a water. Just while we're doing that, do you want to talk to me? Tell me about you. Tell me about your business. What do you do?
I started out. I grew up in pubs up until the age of 15, and I went to catering college when I was 16. From then I jumped into the world, working in various different places. And then I went to, I started Ben's Kitchen at the age of 21, maybe 20, but more towards 21. So I've been in business now for 8 years, and it's been an absolute roller coaster. So yeah.
Fantastic. So sorry, remind me, how long have you been in business now then?
8 years.
8 years. So you've been through some turbulent times. Obviously, COVID was horrible during for catering businesses and kitchens and pubs, restaurants, and hospitality as a whole. How did you get through that?
Where do I start? We were pretty famous for Sunday lunches, so my chefs and I all started doing research into the best reheatable Sunday lunch, because I couldn't imagine trying to deliver 200 Sunday dinners hot. So we did a lot of research over a couple of months, and we cracked the best possible restaurant grade Sunday lunch delivered to your home that you can reheat yourself with no washing other than potentially a few plates. So I adapted. We were doing, as I said, 200 plus Sunday dinners all over Leicestershire, and then not only that, I suddenly noticed that the communities were struggling with getting produce from supermarkets. So I used my buying power at my wholesalers and with my veg supplier, and we started doing community boxes, and then that then grew into personal shopping lists, and even fresh meat, and we were doing probably on average 200 to 300 of these community boxes a week.
Wow!
For the space of about 6 to 8 weeks, and then it died down a little bit when the supermarkets got stocked back up. We just kept busy, and then we did like a burger night, fish and chips. I even did some a la carte specials.
Nice.
A lamb rump with a fondant potato and a pork reduction in a takeaway box for people to enjoy at home, because all people could get was Indian takeaways, Chinese takeaways, or some southern fried chicken. So I just adapted and away we went. And then I then somewhat panicked when it was announced that places will be back open or semi-open. So I took on a golf club, and we did a couple of bits out from their halfway hut, and we invited people onto the terrace and stuff like that. And it was manic, running around. It was boiling hot in this conservatory, and we're running around with big visors on and sweat running down our faces. It was just horrible. You couldn't hear yourself talk. It was just echoey and the big visor on. So yeah, it was certainly an adventure throughout the whole of my business. But then I really found my feet when I started up my own restaurant at a pub called the Old Crown Inn over towards Ashby.
I ate there.
I got to make it my own. I somewhat designed the restaurant myself I had a couple of really good girls working for me, and I was sort of just picking and choosing, saying what I like, and they were running off, coming back with several different options. I won't take all the credit; they did a hell of a lot of work for me.
That's what we said off camera.
And so yeah, and then I invested a lot of money into the kitchen and equipment to produce top quality food, and yeah, I was there for a good couple of years.
Nice.
And yeah, shall I carry on to?
Well, I guess that leads me onto my next question then. So you obviously had some great years in business there. So I want to hear, how did you fail in business?
I think my biggest schoolboy error was so I mean, put a bit of meat on the bones. I came out of a job earning around 21k a year, and I think my first year in business I earned £7,500. Second year 13, third year was more toward 20, 25. So it was in the right direction. But then by the time I got to that point, I landed a good contract at a golf club. This is a different golf club, that's what I was talking about earlier. But it just took off, and I suddenly had to become VAT registered. And for 5 months, we were waiting or my accountants were waiting to receive a code of some sort. And anyway, I was trading away, doing what I was doing. And 5 months down the line, I got a phone call from my accountant. Right, Ben, first VAT bill's come through. It's 5 months worth of VAT. You owe just shy of £25,000. And I was like, what? Where do I get this from? I did not have anywhere near that amount of money.
You sure you don't want anything
on my
from
bank?
The
I could have done with one lad, I tell you. And it was just a big schoolboy error. So from then on, I took hold of my business. I started managing my profit and loss. And basically what I was doing was running my business without putting VAT on top of it. So I was making a pretty good profit, but the VAT then came off, and there's 20% gone. So yeah, it was. It wasn't.
So that's just time. But we said off camera like that. I think there is an illusion from the average person and the HMRC that we know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
No. I still to this day don't meet any business owner that knows everything.
No.
Every day's a learning day.
Oh,
How are you supposed to know?
No, exactly. And I mean, 8 years, I still learn things every day. And I've had such a roller coaster of emotion, stress, relationships, staffing, everything. And it's been really nice to find my feet. So if you go back to and then we kind of got over COVID, and then next thing you know, there's a war, and everything the produce just shot through the roof. So from that, I had a proposed new rental agreement as such, just doubling in figure. I was struggling as it was, and this was the beginning of this year, 23. So I reevaluated the business, looked at what I was doing. Obviously, I started my catering company around 2, 3, 4 years ago, and that was taking off. And honestly, I had a couple of good contracts, and I looked at it and I said, I've got enough to survive on with that. So obviously, with the rental figure going through the roof with the restaurant, I thought, you know what, I think it's time to take a step back. So I just do now catering, pop-up restaurants, fill in the gaps. I get my buzz. You know, I love the hustle and bustle of a restaurant feel in the kitchen. So I get my fix from doing the pop-up restaurants, but then I also do private dining. I do big corporate catering. I do the Victory Show catering for 800 people for a 3-course sit-down dinner. I do such a variety of things now, and but I almost most of the time have a work-life balance, which has become ever so more important to me over the past couple of years.
Especially now the family's growing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I guess on the private dining then, come on, tell us. Have you ever looked in the wrong drawer in someone's home? Have you ever found anything that you shouldn't have done in the kitchen?
No. Unfortunately not. No, I'm not going into stories. No. But I'll keep you posted.
Please do. I remember once I was helping a good business friend of mine. She was moving house, and we were moving out her bedroom, and she had a rolling pin under the bed. She assures us it was just for defence purposes, but we're not. I'm not one to judge. So if you are using someone's kitchen utensils, just keep a.
I tend to bring my own.
Make sure they're nice and clean. So in terms of the VAT thing, what did you learn from that? Like, I assume that's all done and dusty now. I assume that's all.
I feel like I kind of. Again, it was a schoolboy error. Did I really know what I was doing? No, I didn't. I was young, naive. Thought I knew everything. Thought I was the top dog, and I wasn't. And it soon was a rude awakening. You know, I had to set up a payment plan and pay that over the next couple of years or so. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I've still done some schoolboy errors since then. I still do to this day, but nowhere near as bad as that. And everything I'm just learning from. So yeah, I just keep on going.
Keep learning.
Yeah,
amazing.
Absolutely.
Well, hopefully we can carry on this learning journey. We've got some embarrassing stories and things to share. Now, I've not seen them. These have been picked out by Ria Molly, who, as you get to learn this podcast and watch these videos, you'll come to learn them and come to see them, I'm sure. But girls, have you got this week's conundrums? Go on, don't be afraid of the camera, Molly. It's all right. Don't be afraid of the camera. Thank you very much. And obviously, if you want to share your conundrums, is conundrum still a word? I feel like I've said that several times now. If you want to share your dilemmas, your embarrassing stories, your questions maybe that kind of feature around some kind of failure, please do email into us at, what's the email address?
How I failed for a business at Gmail.
Or is it in business?
In business, yes.
Yeah, how I've... Some of it, we know what we're doing. Don't worry. See please do email in how I failed in business.
In the description.
We'll put it into the descriptions below, but also how I failed in business at gmail.com. Somewhere we'll get this figured out. Please do send this in. Maybe we should send in a dilemma where we can't understand and remember what our podcast is called. We can discuss that. Right. So these are some random stories. I'll read them aloud, and then we can maybe come up with our thoughts, and if we've got anything to relate. So, to the How I Failed in podcast. No, the How I Failed in Business podcast. Maybe this wasn't a good name. So it says, not the first day, but the first month. I wasn't feeling well and thought I texted, I'm taking a sick day to my boss. Texts are how we communicate regularly. She replied, okay, no problem, and I went about my day. The next day I went to text her again and realized I'd written, I am taking a dick day in the first text. I was so embarrassed. Is this you? I was so embarrassed and so apologetic. Luckily, she laughed it off and said she just thought I needed to get my rocks off, and she was fine with that. What a boss. I mean, have you ever been in that? Have you ever taken a dick day? Have you? No, how would you respond to that? I mean, what have you ever had a scenario? Yeah. I mean, what would you do if one of your team member messaged you that they're having a dick day?
I think I would have left it as they did. Definitely would have left it and just let them realise themselves. Or I may have played on it. I don't know. I can't.
It's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I just don't know what to.
What's your reaction?
Well, I don't know. It does remind me of a really bad joke.
Just reply with whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're all sexual creatures, I guess. If you need a dick day, you take a dick day. It's a modern world, I guess. I'm trying to think of that joke. I think it's like I text my friend that I was taking oh, that's right, yeah. It's funny if you see it. It's not so funny if like you're talking. But you say, I text my friend and it accidentally auto-corrected to I'm just having a wank down by the canal. And he takes it back straight away saying, oh, sorry, autocorrect. I meant river. Okay, number 2. So this is titled, I Love You. No, I Don't Love You. So there's for this anonymous and ashamed employee, a well-regretted phone call left her humiliated at work for life. After a professional telephone call with her boss, she ended the conversation with, all right, I love you, see you later. This is what she'd usually say to her family at the end of a call, but it certainly wasn't meant for the boss. To save herself from the embarrassing situation, she panicked and said, oh my God, I didn't mean that. I absolutely don't love you. No, I mean, I like working for you, but I know you're married and I'm married and I'm not flirting. So please don't report me to HR for harassment. And in the midst of the message, her boss hung up. Have you ever said I love you to someone you shouldn't say I love you to? A supplier?
No, but I have accidentally said, like, so used to texting my partner with a couple of kisses at the end. And I've done a couple of kisses to a member of staff before, and I've just instantly replied with embarrassment, a face on a hand on face the palm, face, face palm, and I did not mean to do that. I'm sorry.
I think that could have been a lot worse, mate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Could have been 10 times worse. Yeah. Final one. Now this one, as you'll see that there's not a lot of variety in it. Because unfortunately, I know what this one is. The camera will put that up.
Supposed to be anonymous, okay?
This is from an anonymous. Okay. So the thing is, you've made a mistake here. Because you've left it blank, I can read out whatever I want and pretend that you've written this.
Anonymous.
So, to the guys at How I Failed in Business. Fairly new to a company. I'm not even going to read it. fairly new to no, I will, because it makes it look a bit more professional. Fairly new to a company, I received a phishing email from my boss in which the email said, "Hi, Ria." Oh no. Where it said, "Hi, Anonymous. I need to send you on a top secret mission. I need you to buy some gift cards for some clients. WhatsApp me your number and I'll send you the instructions." Okay. So bearing in mind, this boss, I believe, was sat upstairs, no illusion as to what was going on. And this boss, anonymously, was checking the cameras on the CCTV and noticed that this anonymous team member was nowhere to be seen. 20 minutes went by, half an hour went by, vanished. So the boss calls up this anonymous team member and says, "Look, where are you?" And the team member goes, "Oh, I'm at Tesco." "What do you mean, where am I?" "I'm at Tesco." And I remember, do you know what? I can't play this as a third person. This is Ria, okay? This is Ria off camera, okay? This is what happened to Ria. So I'm calling Ria, going, "Where are you? What's going on? Like, I've not seen you in ages. Is everything all right?" And I remember when she said she was at Tesco, I was furious. I was like, "It's 10 o'clock in the morning. If you need lunch, just wait till lunchtime." Bless her. She'd had this phishing scam email. Basically, this person managed to persuade Ria, right, to buy £500 worth of gift cards, iTunes gift cards. Was it iTunes or? Yeah, gift cards, right? And bless Ria, not only, right, had she gone to the shop. Ria doesn't drive. So Ria had walked to our local, the smaller Tesco's, realised that she couldn't buy £500 worth of gift cards.
Yeah.
Got on a bus down to the big one in our big major sort of, next city along, right? And on the way, called her dad about
Shouldn't have told you about this.
about how proud she was that her boss had sent her on this top secret mission.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Luckily, by the time I'd called her, she'd you just bought them, I think, can you? Just bought the gift cards, the gift vouchers. Hadn't got to the stage of scratching the number off and sending the photo to the scammers, because obviously if she'd have done that, then the money would have been gone. Managed to come down, pick her up at Tesco, floods of tears. That was me, not her. So what have I employed? And yeah, mate, you managed to get your money back though?
Yes, I did. Literally.
Oh, was it that day? Oh, fair enough. Have you ever been a victim of one of these phishing? There's loads of them going around, isn't there?
Yeah, no. I've always been pretty cautious. I've never fell into any of them.
No, most people aren't. Sometimes. Well, look, that kind of wraps up the whole episode from start to finish. Obviously, it'd be nice for people watching the podcast to stay connected to you. How's best for them to connect? Are you on LinkedIn, Facebook? Where's best?
I'm refreshing my LinkedIn because I made it years ago and I've not been on for years, but big time on Facebook and Instagram. So yeah, Ben's Kitchen. Yeah.
Nice.
Absolutely.
I'll make sure we'll drop some links in below the video for you to connect with Ben thereafter. But mate, honestly, great chats, great stories. Let's make sure the VAT taxman stays off your back.
Yeah, that's it.
For many months to come. Good to see you, mate.
Thanks,
Take it easy. And thank you to you, the viewer. Please don't clap too soon. We're not going to sign off first. Thank you to you, the viewer, for tuning in. Obviously, if you're listening to this on whatever your favorite podcast listening device is, please do hit the follow, the like, the subscribe, whatever it is. It does really, really support us and allows us to grow the channel. Of course, if you're watching on YouTube, hit that all-important subscribe button. Please do send in your dilemmas. The more embarrassing, the more scary, the more horrifying. Have you ever bought gift vouchers on the back end of a phishing email? Have you ever tried to warm up a cup of coffee in a kettle? If you have, please do send in an email to Ria. What's the email? howifieldinbusiness@gmail.com. howifieldinbusiness@gmail.com. Until next time, all the best.